Harden for Simmons is happening. Eventually. Probably. Or not. There's no denial that can sink the buzz surrounding the potential Nets-Sixers blockbuster. It's a trade that makes too much sense not to happen, and it's one that all parties, Brooklyn, Philly, Clutch, etc., should want. We're finally here. It's trade deadline week, and the action has already begun. First, the Clippers and Blazers broke bread on Friday. Then the Pacers shipped Caris LeVert to the Cavaliers on Sunday, setting the pace for what could be an action-packed week leading up to Thursday's trade deadline. But the potential trade that most people are focusing on is a James Harden for Ben Simmons swap between Brooklyn and Philadelphia. Trades of this magnitude are uncommon, especially when there's so much public discourse surrounding it. It's a strange story, really. Simmons folded in the playoffs and now he's sacrificing his salary to get out of Philadelphia. Gus Williams is the last guy to hold out for an entire season, which he did during the prime of his career over a contract dispute with the Sonics in 1980-81. That was over 40 years ago. Only 15 months ago, Harden started sulking in Houston as part of his plot to get the hell out. Now, just 1 year after he landed in Brooklyn, he might want out again. Lately, Harden is playing defense with the same lack of focus and lackadaisical effort that he did when he was desperately trying to escape Houston. A quick aside, this all reminds me of the 2018 season of The Bachelor when Ari chose Becca but then changed his mind months after proposing because he wanted to date Lauren, who is his runner-up. If I could rewind time I would change things, but the simple fact is that I made a huge mistake, Ari said. Maybe Harden can relate. But Steve Nash doesn't see a star begging to leave. On Sunday, before the Nets dropped their 8th straight game to fall to 7th place in the East, Brooklyn's head coach said the team will not trade Harden before the deadline. "I've talked to James, he wants to be here and he wants to be here long-term as well," Nash told reporters. "We're building with James and we think we have the best chance to win with James. So I don't think anything's changed on the inside in our locker room, in our communication. It's just all the noise from the outside." Maybe the weirdest aspect of this story is just how public all of it has been. Whether it's a report by Adrian Wojnarowski or Shams Charania, or a nugget dropped by Kendrick Perkins, no matter who you get your news from, this saga is out there with so much information and detail about why it's a thing. While Harden might operate like a Bachelor league, NBA executives, coaches, and agents devour rumors and reports the way someone might consume Game of Thrones. Every word has meaning. Every action has a purpose. It's less about what was said and more about why it was said. So when Nash says the Nets will keep Harden, executives don't necessarily take him at his word. They think Nash is open in response to the question because Brooklyn is trying to hold on to what leverage it has for a potential trade. The best case scenario for Philly and the worst case scenario for Brooklyn would be if Harden meets with management this week and outright tells the team he wants out, or that he will strongly consider leaving this summer. If that happens, the Nets would be in a similar spot as the Sixers are now with Simmons. That would kill their leverage. Unless, that is, they can keep it a secret behind closed doors and maintain a public lineup, "We're not trading Harden. He wants to be here." Clutch Sports, which represents Simmons, would love to free its client from Philadelphia, especially if it could get him to a championship contender in Brooklyn. Philadelphia and Clutch have aligned objectives, though their tactics clash. The Athletic's Shams Charania reported Sunday that the Sixers and Nets will engage in dialogue on a deal around Sim. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.